concept of wealth has been distorted amongst Africans. Years ago, religion, foreign religion came into Africa, and we lost our initial heritage where we celebrate the concept of being wealthy. So you see, the Westerners came and gave us religion, took our wealth, told us we should focus on going to heaven, and we don't need to bother about being wealthy here on earth. And years later, Africa is a impoverished poverty capital of the world, and people are no longer thinking of how do we create wealth? What's the concept of real wealth creation in a legitimate way? So we felt both those at home and those in diaspora are struggling. $10 an hour, $15 an hour, 15 hours a day job for many in diaspora, literally throwing away their dreams and struggling. And so we need to bring back that conversation. That's why we started with US, Dallas, Texas, and we did London episode, and now we're bringing it to Nigeria.
Quite interesting. And, you've had, all those episodes in, different countries coming down to Nigeria. Great. But can you tell us the impact of the ones you've had, in other countries?
Huge. It was amazing. Dallas, we had Grant Cardone. He's a top real estate guru, over $8 billion in real estate assets, and several other speakers who are African Americans and Nigerians as well, who are in diaspora, who share their story, how they built where we had the first female to own a bank in the US. She shared her experience. And what we saw with participants was they were so excited. There was that joy that I can make it even here. Because what happened with a lot of people who migrate to diaspora, US, UK, or other parts of the world, we throw away our dreams. We literally tell ourselves we can't make it in those parts of the world. And that is probably just for the whites or for a certain set of people. And with that conference and you seeing people who have made it in that economy, it gave a lot of the participants hope. We got fantastic testimony. London edition, one of the speakers was Alexandra Musu, has 2 Guinness Book of Record, Nigerian, but grew up in the UK, was the first to be known for the ringtone, having Afro beats on ringtone, did the first most expensive phone, most expensive suits. And so how did you do it? How did you succeed in the UK economy despite being Black? And that conversation was just amazing. And we were excited. We are pushing this move.
And I do remember those ringtones you talked about back there. But in the lead up to elections in Nigeria, there's a lot of uncertainty in the business and finance community. What's your view on the situation, and how can the younger generation create certainty around their finances?
Well, the truth is that you and I have to become personally responsible for our finances. Politicians will promise us, heaven and earth. We all know that election period, there's nothing they will say to get our votes, but we have to face the reality. You and I are responsible for the outcome of our lives. And there is so much opportunity in Nigeria. And what we've decided to do is to say, we will bring to you people who have made it in Nigeria. We're going to be having Dr. Cosmos Maduka. Cosmos Maduka started Coscharis with 200 Naira in the same Nigeria. Okay? And his assets is over $1 billion today. How did he do it? So what we've done is to say we will assemble people who are not just thriving, but exceptionally successful despite the challenges in Nigeria, and we'll have them talk to us and share their own journey of how they've been able to do it so that you and I can take responsibility. Ultimately, I've said this a million times, the wealth of a nation is directly proportional to the wealth of the citizens. And don't let any politician deceive you. America is the world power, richest country in the world because top 100 richest people in the world, America probably will take 50% of that. Americans are 50% of the top 100 richest people in the world. So hence the nation, of course, is the richest nation in the world. So if we're going to turn Nigeria around from the African poverty capital of the world and all of that. We have to start empowering our people, showing them how those who made it legitimately have done it and how they can do it themselves.
I guess we have to make our people rich, at this point, so that they can pay more taxes and the government can actually, get more at this time. But what unique factor would you say Nigerian leadership is lacking and is something business leaders can easily answer to?
Well, I think the relationship between, the business leaders and those in politics is too wide. I feel we need to bring it closer. And I'm talking about, I'm not saying that entrepreneurs necessarily need to go into politics, but that when you as a politician become empowered and now you've been elected, you need to close the gap with those who are practically on ground doing business and say, how do we solve your sector? What do we do? I'm not necessarily giving you a title or a position, but can I add you to a conversation on how we can solve the problem in power sector, in the real estate sector, in the oil and gas sector, and not just play politics with the recommendation, but genuinely seek to work together. And we've seen that work in other parts of the world where business leaders are helping policymakers execute transformational concepts and policies to change that particular nation. So I feel that's important. We need to close that gap. I hope in the next government, 2023, that will happen.
Quite interesting. But your company, GTEx Holdings, you're present in countries like the UK, US, Dubai, and the rest. But in terms of growing finances, what is the main key that is obtainable in those economies that you think we can, reenact here in Nigeria?
Beautiful. I think number one is the fact that ease to doing business. Dubai and US and UK, you don't need to know anybody to get anything done. You need a document, you need support from government. It's not a function of the president is my brother or the senator is my cousin. You can just get what you need the proper way. Also is access to funds. I've always shared how, opening corporate bank accounts in different countries, they were asking us how much loan do we need? What financing do we need? You can't get that in Nigeria. And even when you get a loan, the interest rate is just ridiculous. So entrepreneurs definitely need policies that makes it a lot easier for them to be able to do business better in Africa, particularly in Nigeria, like it is in those parts of the world. It's easier for nations like America to demand that the wealthy pay more in taxes because genuinely the government support those businesses. Elon Musk was bailed out how many times now? By the American government, right? So if he's now the richest man in the world, America has the right to say, hey, we need you to pay more. Because we know how many times we helped you, right? We know how many tax incentives, tax break we've given to your business because you are into the renewable energy sector. So this government needs to get involved in helping, knowing that the success of businesses is the success of the administration. It means there will be more jobs. It means you can have more in taxes. It means that the people the development can take place because government can't do everything. So yes, we've seen we've operated businesses in different sectors or different countries that are way better in terms of the infrastructure, but we also believe that can happen in Nigeria. We just need our leaders to be willing, genuinely willing to change things. And I hope they will. I hope we all just can hope, my brother.
Right, we're hopeful, we are. But for many who want to attend, the event, is it a free event? You have a number of, internationally acclaimed speakers coming. So I want to know, is it free?
Well, nothing of value is free.
Right.
But what we've done is to subsidize the event where people can even right now, as we're watching this, get a 50% discount, further discount on the event if they are getting their tickets today. So you can just visit globalwealthfestival.com and then use the coupon code GWF Lagos. With that code, they will get extra 50% discount if they are getting their tickets today for the event. We have, Les Brown, we have Robert Kiyosaki, Brian Tracy, amongst others coming. They have done a recorded session because they're not coming physically. Done a recorded session that will be played during the event. And we have, of course, other speakers who are coming physically. And we really look forward to having a very great time. I'm just excited about it.
I'm sure it'll be very interesting, and I'm sure you have my ticket waiting, for me somewhere.
You have to be. You have to be.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, convener, Global Wealth Festival. It's great having you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes. All right, now after the break, AFEX Commodities Market Update is next. Do stay with us. This is Business Morning.